The eBay algorithm hates you because you are focused on pleasing the algorithm instead of pleasing you and eBay's customers.
Many of the questions that I get on this channel are all somehow incorporating and asking about the eBay algorithm, which is great because you guys are trying to learn about eBay and how to sell on eBay and how to better your businesses. So that's awesome. You guys are on the right track. Unfortunately, we just get a little too focused on the robots and the algorithms when we need to be more focused on the people we are actually selling our items to. Understanding the algorithms for the platforms you guys are trying to sell on is super, super important. I mean, I do it for a living. I am constantly trying to figure out the eBay algorithm, the Poshmark algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, the TikTok algorithm, the Facebook algorithm, Google's algorithm, all of these different algorithms. It's my job to figure these out and to serve them, right? But on eBay, it's better to say, how can I serve my customer? What items do my customers want? How many pictures do my customers want to see? What kind of condition of the item are my customers willing to pay for, and what price do my customers want to pay for those varying conditions? Same on YouTube. Not how can I hack the YouTube algorithm? How can I create better content for my viewers? When we focus on our customers instead of the algorithm just ends up working in our favor anyway. So next time you have a question and you're thinking, how can I increase my sales on eBay? Don't think, how can I please the algorithm? But ask yourself, is what I am doing pleasing the customer? Something that's talked about widely here on YouTube about eBay, especially once the quality report came out, was how many photos should we be putting on our eBay listings? Everyone started to calculate, okay, the algorithm wants this, the algorithm wants that. But what's important when it comes to photos is, what do your customers want? For example, I have this remote here. I know what my customers want to see in regards to the remote. They want to see the actual remote, and they want to see that it has the brand that they want and it goes to the unit they want. Next, they want to see if it has the back clip. So the first photo, I show them what they want to see. The second photo, I show them the next most important thing they want to see, which is the back clip. And then the next thing they want to see is if it has battery corrosion. So the third picture of all my remote listings is making sure that there's no corrosion, because that's what the customer wants. Now, you can sell remotes all day long with just those 3 pictures because I have adequately served the customer. Then I take it a few steps further and I take a picture like this, and then a zoom in on the model number for the algorithm. I served my customer first because I know the pictures that they actually want to see. All you need is 3. And then I served the algorithm just a bit more because I understand that the algorithm wants a few more photos to separate my listings from others. So I pleased both, but I made sure to focus on the customer first. Another example of how many photos you should have in your listing for your customers, we'll take a look at this Harley-Davidson shirt. I know that people, my customers looking for Harley-Davidson shirts, want to know a few things. First off, they just want to see what it looks like from the front. So that's your first photo, the whole picture, the whole shirt in the picture. Then they want to see what it looks like on the back. So this is your second photo. Then the quickest way to date a shirt, unless it actually has 2002 written on it, is they want to see the tag. They want to see if it's an authentic tag, and then they want to try to decipher around which year this shirt was printed from the tag. Then, if it's vintage, they want to see the stitching down here. This is a double stitch, so it's not a vintage shirt. This shirt was made in 2012. So it's over a decade old, but it's not vintage yet, right? So the fourth photo I would put are the stitching. Then your customers want to know how it's gonna fit. So you're going to want to put measurements from pit to pit is the most common question. And then from the top of the collar down to the bottom of the shirt is the next most common question. Put all of those photos in your listing, not because the algorithm wants that, but because your customers want that. You have to think in your head, what does my customer want to see in these photos, not what does eBay want to see in these photos. One of the huge questions always asked about the eBay algorithm is offering free returns, does it actually boost your sales and does it put you higher up in the listings queue? Yes. Why? Because your customers want that. And because your customers want that, eBay knows from the metadata and all the analysis that, hey, if something has free shipping, it is significantly more likely to get a click from a customer, and it is significantly higher chance that it's going to get a sale from that customer. So, because of that, we are going to push out these free return items to more people because there's a lot higher likelihood that they're going to buy them. You got to think as if you're a customer, and you guys are customers. We are consumers as well. We buy off of eBay and Amazon and Walmart and Target all the time. And a lot of you return items very often. I do too. I actually have only returned 2 items in my whole life. I'm just not a return guy. If I make a purchase, I've decided that I'm gonna go down with the ship. It's just kind of my personality. If I spend $19 on something and it isn't exactly what I wanted it to be or it doesn't work, I'm just out 19 bucks. I deserve that, right? But most people aren't like me. Most people want to have the option to return something if it doesn't work. But most people don't want to return items. They want to buy an item and keep it because they wanted to buy it. But if you have 2 identical items, which I don't have in front of me right now, but if you have 2 identical items, let's say my terrible example here, but we have 2 envelopes, and let's say that these envelopes, for whatever reason, are very pricey, okay? This envelope is $19.99 free shipping, and this envelope is $19.99 free shipping. Identical, nothing different about them. This one has 5-day shipping and buyer pays returns. This one has 3-day shipping, free returns. Which one are you gonna buy? Like, honestly tell me, identical, both the same price, both the same condition, both the exact same thing. Which one are you actually going to buy? Well, first of all, you're going to buy this one because it's higher up in the list because eBay pushed it there because it has free returns. But if you saw both of them together side by side, you're just going to buy the one with free returns even though you don't want to return it, even though you have no plans of returning it. You just want the assurance that if anything does go wrong, you are protected. That's why you got to serve the customer, because eBay wants to serve the customer, and if you're doing that, eBay's gonna do that. Alluded to one of them just barely. Will having faster shipping increase my visibility of my items in the eBay algorithm? Absolutely. Not because you're serving the algorithm, but because you're serving your customers. If you have a DVD VCR combo player that you want to get for your trip to the cabin with your grandchildren, you're like, wow, I'm really excited to show them my vintage Winnie the Pooh and Dumbo VHSs, and then I know that my son also wants to bring up Planet Alien or whatever and so we can play it on the DVD and the VHS, because we don't have Wi-Fi service up there, so we can't use Netflix, we can't use Hulu, we can't use any of those services. But what an awesome experience would it be to watch VHS and DVDs with my grandchildren. I'm gonna go on eBay right now and buy one because they are not sold in stores anywhere. Sweet. There are 2 exact same models. One has 8-day shipping, one has 3-day shipping. I'm gonna spend $15 extra to buy the one that has 3-day shipping because we're going to the cabin in 5 days. I have no practical use whatsoever of buying the one that has 8-day shipping because I'm literally buying this machine for this cabin trip. And I'm probably just gonna keep it in the cabin for future visits. But this visit is very important that we have this DVD VCR combo player, so I'm going to buy the one that's more expensive with faster shipping because that's what the customer needs, not what eBay wants for you. eBay doesn't want anything from you. eBay just wants to make the most money possible, and it wants the customers to have the best experience possible. Those 2 things. Now, I want to talk about the first thing that I just said in another video, of eBay wants to make the most money possible. That's where we can get into things like promoted listings and things like that. But much, much, much more important than that. All business owners know if you serve your customers, you're just going to make more money. If you focus on making more money at the expense of your customers, you're going to make less of it. eBay wants a positive buyer's experience. That is the algorithm. How can we provide the best buyer experience possible? Free shipping, not free shipping, free returns, best handling time, best pictures, best item specifics, best title, best description of the condition, best everything. Another big question here on YouTube land, how does the eBay algorithm want me to structure my titles? It doesn't matter. It just matters how your customers are searching for your items. That is the best way to structure your titles, is how is the average person looking for my item? eBay has told us over and over again that people are more likely to search brand first than item. So a lot of people just search toaster, but more people search Black & Decker toaster or Wolf toaster. There's a ton of people out there that search VHS player, but it's more likely that people search Sony VHS player. There's a lot of people that type in red dress, but it's more often that people type in Forever 21 red dress. So we have to understand how our customers are searching for these items and structure our titles in accordance with that. So if eBay is telling us that the customer is more fixated on the brand than the item, we need to put the brand first, followed by the item. In some categories, people search exact model numbers. In some categories, people search size first. Those are all nuances, but in general, you definitely want to put the brand of the item first. I and other great resources here on YouTube have more information on title structure. I don't want to dive super deep into that here today, but you can look up a few of my videos on title structure as well as other YouTubers. But basically what I'm trying to get across is that we need to understand our customer, what they want and what their habits are, how they search for things, and that's what's going to allude to more sales. Now for one of the most widely talked about topics here on YouTube, Reddit, Facebook surrounding the eBay and its algorithm is how many items should I list and how often should I list them? I'm a big proponent for listing consistently and even listing the exact same amount of items every single day, for reasons beyond eBay performance and the algorithm. I think that you should list the exact same amount of items every single day as consistently as possible for you as a business owner to understand and learn consistency and discipline and things like that to help you with your current business and your future business. You have more items and more data to draw conclusions on and to notice patterns and things like that. But it's much more important to list quality items. If you were to walk into Walmart, would you want to see a rack of 18 hats? 14 of them suck, 3 of them are pretty good, and 1 is awesome? Or would you rather just go into Walmart and have 4 hats on the rack, 3 of them are pretty good, and 1 is awesome? What does your customer want? If you were to walk into Cabela's, would you want to be immediately presented with 16 trash, lower value items that you might buy once every year or 18 months? Or do you want to go in and be presented with a nice Carhartt section, followed by some nice quality reels for fishing, followed by, some other good items? I think that your customers want you and want eBay to just have higher quality items. There are people out there that, don't need or want the best items, and sometimes they just want a pretty cruddy item for a super, super, super cheap price. It's whatever. But overall, you need to look at your customer. What does your customer want? The customers that I'm trying to serve want things that they actually want to buy. They don't want to type in trucker hat and see a bunch of no branded, terrible condition with holes and no logos hats. They want to type in trucker hat and they want to see hats that they actually want to purchase. So it's better if you're at a yard sale and there's a huge bin of hats with 20 of them and 18 of them suck and 1 is pretty good and 1 is super good, It's better to just take the one that's pretty good and the one that's super good and only list 2 hats instead of listing 20 to hit your goal. It's better to just list quality items. So my official recommendation is, in a perfect world, which we do not live in a perfect world, it would be best to list 5 items 7 days a week, 10 items 7 days a week, 20 items 7 days a week, whatever it is. But it's better to list 3 really good items on Monday, 0 on Tuesday, 9 on Wednesday, 6 on Thursday, 2 on Friday, and 0 on Saturday and Sunday, if they're good, fast sell-through rate items, than to list 8 every single day that have a 20% sell-through rate. Does my account health and metrics affect the visibility of my items in the eBay search and its algorithms? Absolutely it does. Because the function of the eBay algorithm is to provide an awesome customer and buyer experience. If you ship your things out way later than you say you will, that provides a bad customer experience. If you have a ton of item not as described because you describe an electronic as working but it arrives broken because you never tested it, bad customer experience. If you say that you're going to give a full refund to someone and then when they return it, you actually try not to refund them at all or only give them 50%, it's going to create a bad buyer experience. If you have bad account health, if you have a ton of defects, if you have a ton of late shipments, your items, even though they are high quality items, will be pushed down, and your not so quality items will just be buried completely. eBay wants you. It's kind of like a credit score. When you get my first credit card ever, it had a $700 limit. That credit card now, 11 years later, has a $45,000 limit because I have exercised everything that I should do. When I buy things, I pay it off. I always make sure that I'm never doing any late payments. I'm always making sure that I have my balance low. And then the credit card company just keeps issuing me more and more and more credit, more and more breathing room, more and more benefits. Same with eBay. If you do a really good job on your first 5 items, they're going to let you list more. They're also going to put your listings up higher and higher because it's a good experience for the buyer. All right, guys, this is getting a bit rambly at this point, so we're going to go ahead and end things here shortly. Like I said, the algorithm, there are 2 major functions. There are a ton of other functions of the eBay algorithms with an S, but the 2 major ones are serve the customer, make it the best positive buying experience as possible, and the second, make money, as much money for eBay as possible. Let me know if you guys, I touched on almost exclusively the how can we make a better buying experience for our customers, but then there's also the other facet, how eBay can make more money, which honestly is pretty incorporated with the second one, but with that other one. But if you guys would like a part 2 where I focus solely on how eBay makes more money off of us and the buyers, I can do that too, but it is significantly less important to the algorithm. Because like I mentioned earlier, if you create positive experiences for your customers, they're going to keep coming back and spending more money with you. All businessmen know it is much more expensive to acquire a new customer than it is to retain a current one. So the majority of the decisions that eBay makes is for the buyer to get them to buy for the first time and then to get them to keep coming back and keep buying and buying and buying, which if you make any of those major mistakes of shipping them a broken item, trying to scam them, shipping items out way too late, not having accurate photos or descriptions, they're never going to come back to the platform and buy again. So that is what eBay's algorithm is very, very focused on. How can we provide an awesome experience for our customers? That is what we as sellers should be focused on. How can I provide an awesome buying experience for my customers? Thanks, guys.